Hey guys, so look at here how we can work with a string buffer, and string builder, and what is a wrapper class. Before understanding wrapper class, a string buffer, and string builder, we will see first of all static. What is a static method? What is a static variable? And what is a static block? So static concept is what? In the OOPS concept, we are having two stuff: class and object. If something you want to relate with the class, you need a static. If you want to something relate with the object, then you need not to make a static. Okay. So whatever the static stuff we are having, it related to the class and is getting loaded as class is getting loaded here. Okay. So let us say when a number of objects are created from the same class or blueprint, they each have their own distinct copies of instance value, right? So in the case of the bicycle class, the instance variables are, let us say, cadence, gear, and speed. Each bicycle object has its own values for these variables stored in different memory locations. So if we talk about this class, consider public class bicycle and private in cadence and gear and speed. So int id, and there's a one variable here which is what? Static, and the variable name is what? Number of bicycles. So it is currently it is having 0 value. These all are non-static, right? So what it means? So this variable is related to the class. Now these variables are related to the object of, let us have object. So object of this class. Okay. So these variables I can directly call like bicycle dot number of bicycles. See, I'm not creating object of bicycle, right? So I'm just saying bicycle dot number of bicycles. So I'll get the value 0 here. And so next, look at more details regarding the here. Another concept, like sometimes you want to have a variable that are common to all objects. Are you getting? Say what I mean, let us have one variable. That variable is getting accessed by the all the objects. So we need to make it static here. So this can be done by a static modifier, and fields that have the static modifier in their declaration are called static fields or a class variable. So they are associated with the class rather than with an object. So every instance of the class shares a class variable which is in one fixed location in memory. Any object can change the value of class variable, but class values can also be manipulated without creating an instance of the class. So let us say there's one class having 10 objects and one class is having some static variable. So that variable can be accessed by all the 10 objects. So if one object is having some value, all rest 9 objects will get the same value. If another object is changing, then all the rest one will get changed one. Okay. So look at this static variable in details now. So it is a variable which belongs to the class and not to the object. Static variables are initialized only once at the start of the execution. These variables will be initialized first before the initialization of any instance variable. Okay. So because when the class is getting loaded, it is also getting initialized. So single copy to be shared by all instances of the class. Static variable can be accessed directly by the class name and does not need any object. Even you can call through the object also, not a problem. But the way is what? You can just write class name and then you can write a variable name. So you can call directly this one. So look at this code here. So you can write class name dot variable name. So class name dot variable. That is the syntax for this. Okay. Now if you look this code here, same code is here, right? I have one variable which is a static, and the variable name is what? Private static int number of bicycle equal to 0. This is my static variable. Similarly, we are having concept of static methods. We can make non-static method or static methods in our class. So once if we have a static methods, again we can call directly through the class, like class name dot method name. Okay. So look at the code here, and the Java programming language support static methods as well as static variable, as we have seen earlier. So static methods, also called class method, which have the static modifier in their declarations, so it be invoked with the class name without the need for creating instance of the class. So if you look the more here, so even you can call that method static methods through an object also. You can refer it. So you should not do that because it doesn't make it clear whether it is a static or non-static methods. So you should have this practice. So if you look this code, I have a public static in get number of bicycle. So this is a static methods having some return values, and I'm just using a static variable inside that because a static block can use only static variables. So there are some important notes here about a static methods. If you look at here, instance methods can access instance variable and instance methods directly. Instance methods can access class variable and class methods directly. Static methods can access class variable and class methods directly, right? Static methods cannot access instance variable. Static methods cannot access instance variable or instance method directly. They must use an object reference. So you have to create object and then you can call it. Okay. It is the method which belongs to the class and not to the object. Static method I am talking about. So static method can access only static data. It cannot access non-static data. So if you have declared static block or a static method, inside that you cannot access any non-static variable. So a static method can be accessed directly by the class name and does not need any object. So a static method cannot refer to this or super keywords in any way. So inside the static method you cannot write any super or this keyword. Okay. Main method is static. Why? Because it must be accessible for an application to run, right, before any instantiation takes place. So as the class is getting loaded of your application, that method is also getting loaded and JVM is calling it. Why it is public? Because JVM is supposed to access, so we are making here public static. So for calling main method, we don't require to create any object. Without creating object, we can write it. Static block. What is a static block or what is non-static block? So, and in what cases it will get call. So it is a block statement inside a Java class that will be executed when a class is first loaded into the JVM. So static block helps to initialize the static data members, just like constructor help to initialize instance member. Okay. So I just write one code and I explain you how the static and non-static work. So sometimes someone like have a query, can you display something without writing main method. So consider I have one class. So now say, let us say I have one program here. Consider static demo. Okay, and inside that I don't write any main method. I just write here one block, static block, open and close it. And then here I write system dot out dot println, and then I say, hi, I called when class loaded. Let us try this code. Save it. I'm just saving in a F drive. There's one folder we are having, say Java code, and here we are writing, say it is a static demo. Okay, dot Java. Save now. I'll go to the command prompt, and there I'll write a code here. Say cd. Sorry, this is what we have to do. Java C, and then a static demo, right? Compile it. So there's no error in this code. It is getting compiled. Now let us run this code. Now Java static demo. What do you think? We'll get some output. What output will come? There's no main method here, right? But as I said, when the class is getting loaded, then your static block is get loaded here. So it is saying that here public static void main, there's no main method right here. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so we are not having main method here, right? So let us consider here we are having public static void main string args open, and say open and close. Now let us try now. So look at here. What I am doing here, I have not written anything in this main method. So what happened, as the class is getting loaded, this block is getting executed here, right? Now, so this is a static block. Now another block, let us say non-static. So I just open here and I write it here, and I write, and suppose this is the code inside my non-static block, and I say, hi, this is non-static block. Okay, so here, from here to here, this is static, and from here to here, this is non-static, right? Now inside main method, I have not written anything. I'm just saving this code and then going to compile now. So I just compile it again and then I write it. So what I'm getting this hi I called when class loaded. So this line is only coming, only static block is getting it. When this line will get invoked and how we can call this? So you need not to call. Once you are creating object, it will call automatically. Say static demo d equal to new static demo. So we are creating an object for the this class right here. So this is my instance here. This is my object d object which is getting created. Once the object is getting created, this block will get invoked. Let us compile it and check it once again. So now it is coming, right? So second line we are getting hi, this is not a static block, right? When it is getting called, when the object is getting created. So this is what a static block and non-static block. So let us come back to the here. Now, so you understood this. Next, a very good example of understanding static and non-static variable here. So if you can see this code, I have one class student and there's an int a static int b. So two variables are there and there's one constructor. In the constructor what we have done b plus plus, right? We have done b plus plus. So these are the variables declared in the class. So int a, it is a primitive type, so by default it is getting initialized with 0. So every primitive data type is having default values. Now a static int b is again initialized to 0 only when class is loaded, not for each object created. Now there's a one method where we are just showing this a and b, okay. So okay, look at here now. So more code with that. Next what we are doing, there's another class which is calling that method or creating object first now. So there's a class demo having main method and creating object for a student s1 and s2. So there's a two object here we are having, right? S1 and s2. Now I'm calling s1.showData, s2.showData. So both object is having a and b, right? This is also having a and b, but both are having different a, but b is common to both. Okay, they're having different a, but b is common to both. So look at here, values of a is 0 for first object and value of b is 1. Again the second object is getting a, so 0 is getting, but what is the value of b? Look at here, it is 2. Why 2? Because in a constructor it is saying b plus plus, so earlier value of b is what? It was having 1 here, now here it has become 2. So I think it is clear to you. So both variable here s1 and s2 sharing a variable b which is static, right?